Ever wondered how a stegosaurus, an herbivorous dinosaur, defended itself against predators? Picture, if you will, a creature of considerable size, a plant eater living in a world filled with carnivorous threats. The Stegosaurus, despite its peaceful diet, was not a helpless herbivore but a well-armored fortress on legs. Its size alone wasn't enough to deter the prehistoric predators. It needed something more. And nature, in its infinite wisdom, provided just the right tools. The Stegosaurus had a unique combination of armor and weapons. Let's delve deeper. Imagine walking around with a row of large, bony plates on your back. Sounds uncomfortable, right? But for a Stegosaurus, it was a lifesaver. Now, let's take a closer look at these iconic plates. They were not solid blocks of bone, but rather thin and flat, with a honeycomb-like structure on the inside. They ran along the dinosaur's back, starting small near the head, growing larger towards the middle and then tapering off towards the tail. There could be as many as 17 of these plates, each one up to 2 feet tall and 2.5 feet wide. But what was the purpose of these plates? Well, there's no definitive answer, but many paleontologists believe they served as a form of defense. Their size and position made the dinosaur appear larger and more intimidating to potential predators. Think about it. Would you want to mess with a creature that looks like it's wearing a suit of armor? Some theories even suggest that these plates could regulate body temperature, but that's a story for another time. One thing's for certain, these plates were a key part of the Stegosaurus's survival strategy. They were a visual deterrent, a bluff to ward off threats, making the dinosaur seem bigger and tougher than it actually was. These plates, however, were not the Stegosaurus's only defense. It had another weapon, quite literally at its tail end. The Stegosaurus wasn't just carrying a shield, it was also wielding a sword, or rather 4 of them. Meet the thagomizer. This fearsome weapon attached to the end of the Stegosaurus's tail consisted of 4 long, sharp spikes. These spikes weren't just for show, they served a critical purpose in the survival of the Stegosaurus. Think of it as a sort of medieval mace, a weapon designed for brutal close-quarter combat. When threatened, the Stegosaurus could swing its tail like a pendulum, with the thagomizer at the end delivering a potentially fatal blow to its attacker. Just imagine the power and strength required to swing such a weapon. It's no small feat, especially considering the size and weight of these spikes. But the Stegosaurus was more than up to the task. Its strong, muscular tail, combined with excellent balance provided by its 4-legged stance, allowed it to swing its tail with surprising speed and precision. However, this wasn't a weapon to be used frivolously. Swinging a tail equipped with a thagomizer required a significant amount of energy and left the Stegosaurus briefly vulnerable. It was a last-ditch effort, a final stand when all other options had been exhausted. So the Stegosaurus, an otherwise gentle herbivore, was well prepared to defend itself. This dinosaur wasn't just a passive plant eater. Its thagomizer served as a stark reminder to predators that even the gentle giants of the Mesozoic era weren't to be trifled with. The Stegosaurus's defenses truly were a marvel of prehistoric adaptation. Let's recap. The Stegosaurus's armored plates, arranged in 2 staggered rows, were not just for show. They were a formidable barrier against predators. Then, there were the tail spikes, or thagomizer, a veritable weapon capable of inflicting serious damage. These features together were both shield and sword, demonstrating the Stegosaurus's unique adaptation for survival. With its armor and weapons, the Stegosaurus was not just a prehistoric spectacle, but a formidable opponent in the dinosaur world.